Well, hello everybody. Welcome to New Thought Musicians Showcase. I'm your host, Jane Thornton. Our guest today is Lisa Firestone. She's a New Thought artist and she's music director at Music City CSL in Nashville. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Jane.
Sure, happy to have you. So, we will get started with Lisa by talking a little bit about her background. Lisa, in looking at your history, it's incredible, but you've been 3 times now finalists in the Empower Posse competitions, starting back in 2009 with Though I Be Small in the personal transformation category. And then in the 15th Posies in 2019, Open Your Heart, about healing. And then the 18th Posies, most recently, that was held 2023 with your Unafraid performance. Now that one, Janice Stanfield had some introductory comments that I didn't pick up in the video, and I understand you wrote that with Janice Stanfield.
I did.
You want to tell us about that?
Oh, sure. Jana, Jana's a world traveler, and she's been a dear friend for a long time. And I was fortunate it was late 2021. I had just moved into my own place, and I was recovering from this health challenge, and she could see the challenges I was going through, and she moved in with me. And one of the things that she really did during that time, we talk about in our sister circle, we talk about something called joisting, which is the principle in a house. When you're building a house, when you've got a pillar of support and you need extra support, you joist it.
Does that spell Joy sing? Oh, no. Actually, without the T.
It could be
The
joy.
T would be silent.
That's a great little play on it. Actually, yeah, joisting. Well, it is OI, but I love that little play on words. She came to joist me, and we were deeply touched at that time. I was, of course, in my own health challenge, but there was a woman who had a similar experience as mine, and she did not have the same outcome. She didn't stay, but she was incredibly courageous. And there's a line from the 12-step prayer, just for today, I will be unafraid. And we were inspired with this beautiful concept and seeing her, and my taking inspiration from her, and then Jana, of course, with her ever flowing. I mean, she's just always flowing with ideas and creativity. She's really wonderful that way. So that's how we composed it.
Wow.
I'm unafraid to live. I'm unafraid to die. To love with all my heart, even when it makes me cry. I'm learning to surrender what I cannot change, so I can face each new day unafraid. Unafraid when I live from love, unafraid when I give from love, unafraid and it fills my cup when I live from love. Unafraid when I live from love, I am unafraid when I give from love, unafraid and it fills my cup when I live from love. I'm unafraid of truth. It leads to understanding. I'm unafraid of sorrow. It keeps my heart expanding. My life's a patchwork quilt of all the memories made. Wrapped inside it, I feel unafraid. Unafraid when I live from love, I'm unafraid when I give from love, unafraid, and it fills my cup. When I live from love, unafraid when I live from love, I'm unafraid when I give from love, unafraid, and it fills my cup. When I live from love. We trust what our heart tells us or what other people say. Either way, regret catches up to us one day. But every risk I took and every price I paid was a step to where I'm standing, unafraid. Unafraid when I live from love, unafraid when I give from love, unafraid and it fills my cup. When I live from love, unafraid when I live from love, I'm unafraid when I give from love, unafraid and it fills my cup. When I live from love. God knows I've surrendered and heaven knows I've prayed. So I'll go where I'm going, unafraid, unafraid, unafraid.
It's wonderful, Lisa. So, and the 15th Posies, like we say in 2019, you were a finalist for Open Your Heart, and you have 2 renderings of that I have as little music videos that are out there already, but one is a cover, and the other is a cartoon. So you've offered to play it live here, and I
I've
take
offered
you
to
up on
play it
that
live.
offer.
Yes, my
Thank
cartoon
you.
is, yeah, well, and the first one is actually not a cover. It's just an early version that I have since revised. It was done in the studio, so it's beautiful to look at. But the one that little animated version is a lyric video that I created myself, and it was such a
Wow.
joyful experience to work and do that. And but I'm always happy to do it live. So, would you like the whole song?
Whatever you think,
Okay.
whatever you'd like to do. We
Okay.
have time. So
Okay.
it's be great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Open your heart, I will meet you out in the fields beyond right and wrong, holding a place where trust can greet you and you are known. Open your heart, I'll receive it. Happiness, anger, joy, and pain. All of you met with no resistance, like the earth greets rain. There's no need to change or hide your feelings, it's sacred space. Here where the weight like fog is lifted, we're gifted grace. Open your heart, your needs matter. Allow me the honor to walk in your shoes. Here where it's safe to feel the fullness of your heart's truth. There's no need to change or hide your feelings in sacred space. Here, let the weight like fog be lifted. We're gifted grace. Open your heart, it's true and perfect. Cracks in the clouds, let light shine through. Every misstep's just part of the journey to you, loving you. Sweet the release for your courage. Solid oaks grow in dirt and sky tears. All of your reaching broken branches are welcome here. All of you is welcome here.
Wow, thank you so much for that. You know, as I listen to that, I hear metaphors left and right. Did you ever write poetry or something? I mean, music, lyrics
This,
can be poetry, but not
I
always.
think it's fair to say everything I do came from my poetic background, but I
Oh,
had
tell me
it.
about that.
Well, I was studying literature with a creative writing emphasis at UCLA, and I had one teacher tell me, "Don't bother, you're awful." And
Ah,
so he said, I think he said it quite some other way, but by that time I already had this huge thing, and I didn't have the courage to really put it to music until after that. And it came a little bit from the, well, I'll show him, but it also just came from this, like, it has to go somewhere. Got to put it somewhere. And I'd been playing piano since I was 5, and I just hadn't had the courage to do it. So sometimes those things are a blessing in disguise.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, just every single lyric, steps in a journey,
Mm.
cracks of light through the clouds, reaching and broken branches, reaching through. Every single one is metaphorical and poetic. Well done.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much.
Now is a good time to talk about the Russians song that you did
Mm.
and um, being the hope of humanity, if you would like to.
Mm.
That's the name of your song. So both
Yeah,
of those, what you did with Sting, and then also talk about be the hope of humanity and play that, if you would.
yeah, sure. Well, first, when Russia invaded the Ukraine, I think, like a lot of people, I just went into shock and found that that there wasn't. I didn't know how to be a part of the solution except to turn to music. And Sting had already written the song that spoke to that message of peace, and it was beautifully done. Essentially, he just said, um, you know, I hope the Russians love their children too. And I think that was enough. I did a cover of it and asked I have a refugee mentee that I've been working with for 2 years now. And she is a refugee who, um, when she makes videos and things for me, she is able to earn some money for her family. Her family fled in order to survive, and they are in Singapore. And so, and I have Janice Stanfield to thank for that too. All right. Be the Hope of Humanity was a song that I wrote many years ago. And It wasn't recorded well, and I always wanted to have a do-over on it. So I did recently. And this is kind of what happened. I'll just do a couple verses and a chorus. Take a good look around you. What's happened in this land? People here are fighting over lines drawn in the sand, focused on differences with attitudes of blame, forgetting just beneath our skin everyone's the same. Let's be the hope of humanity and find a way to let love lead, 'cause the world is crying out for sanity, and we can be the change we wanna see, be the change we wanna see. Don't matter if you're Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew. There are many paths to God, and through the power of loving you, reach out to the others that we've never called a friend. Drop these barriers to love and bring the wars to end. Let's be the hope of humanity and find a way to let love lead, 'cause the world is calling out for sanity, and we can be the change we want to see. Yeah, be the change we want to see. Ooh.
Lovely, beautiful.
Little
I
piece
love
of it.
yeah, I love all of that.
Thank you.
You know, to take, and again, that's an active stance. We're taking, we're being the hope. We're not just feeling the thoughts of empathy. We're doing something about it. We're being the hope. I love that.
Right. Doing the thing. It's, it's amazing too, the compassion. We can get stuck in our feelings, and I certainly know how that feels. But taking the action sometimes can be a request. It can be a request to reach out, or to ask something of someone. I have this need for peace. Would you be willing to talk with me?
Exactly. And Empower has a nonviolent playlist. So I'm going to suggest that you contribute that song to them for
I
that playlist.
certainly
It's
will.
just an MP3. They have it probably.
I'll tell you. Well, you know what inspired this song? I grew up like most people. We live. I mean, some people might argue this, but it's generally pretty well known. We live in structures and institutions that are patriarchal, not meaning male dominated, but power dominated. There are, even from the time we're in school, there's an authority, and then there's us. And so the first thing that happened for me, like I think for many people, is that I really got disconnected from the feelings that were trying to guide me into what I needed to do to take care of myself. And back in the 60s, there was a therapist, a Jewish therapist, who was working with people. He himself had grown up bullied, and he was working with people, discovering they weren't healing. But as he started to really allow them, and he would name their feelings and needs, something would happen. The experience of being seen and being known and being held without judgment in itself would transform them. And so that's sort of what happened to me back in 2017 or 18, I think, when I first discovered nonviolence. I had an experience of empathy. I had never been really, truly held in empathy. I'd always received a lot of advice when I was in pain or whatever, but to really be held and known and seen, it really transformed me. And as I continued to learn the work of that therapist, his name is Marshall Rosenberg, I found this whole movement of this beautiful thing which brings us into the fullness of our authenticity, where we can find that there's really no violence in the heart when we're born. This is all added to us through these structures of power. And it strips away the need for power and brings us into relation with people where there's no, where we can communicate authentically and express our needs and be heard and find peace and balance.
What you're saying is very
And about
important.
compassion, and I've learned for myself that the judgments that I have are really important information for me. If I don't get stuck there and I allow that to direct me to the feeling, to this need, I normally, if I bring my attention to the need that's in my belly down here, the thing that's so important to me, I can transform my relationship to that judgment. And I can also find that the people that I judge have the same needs, and I can experience that unity with them. It's just remarkable. It's like it's something, it's hard to put into words, but I
No,
have,
you put it into words perfectly. You
yeah,
internalize it and you actually physically feel it. That's
yeah.
that's a new thought on it. It's a new
It's a
twist.
new thought. It is ancient wisdom, new thought.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. This is
Thank
called
you.
Grateful, and it's just a piece of a longer song that I use for closing our service. In the hands we hold, in the eyes that shine, are one beating heart, one life, one mind, lifting us with love divine. So in all times I will be grateful, grateful, so grateful. A gift is always revealed. Grateful, so grateful. In gratitude, my heart is healed. In gratitude, your heart is healed. In gratitude, our lives are healed. In gratitude, we are healed.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you for being on the show today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being willing to have me. And you've been after this a while, and I appreciate your patience, Jane. Thank you.
Sure. Blessings to you.
Okay. Take care.